I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. We were hoping for an undefeated season. That was my goal. Something the floor's never done here. But I promise you one thing. A lot of good will come out of this. And you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season. And you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of this season.
Welcome to Black Irish Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to an all-new episode of Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and Mike is back on deck. Crawford, what's up, buddy?
What up, my guy? And you know it, man. Like, Dak's I don't know if he's my guy, but he's my guy for this shit.
Yeah, he's more of like your girlfriend. Like, week to week, you can't decide if you want to be with him or not.
Exactly, man. Exactly. It happens week to week, too. And if he comes back and starts losing, divorce.
Time to break up.
We'll bring it up. We'll bring it up, man. How you been this week, man?
I've been good. I had a crazy Sunday. It was a lot of fun. I was trying to touch them all. Just do a little bit of everything all in one day, right? Just because I felt like it.
And what did that consist of, my Mr. Touch 'em All?
So Sunday, I've been having this weird things about 11s and 1s lately. Like 11's been like a rotating thing. And so weirdly I didn't. So anyway, I started going by my Sunday by going and doing yoga. In the house, doing yoga. And if I can't go to the gym, that's usually I like to do like 15 or 20 minutes just to stretch, because I'm old and like as I'm doing it, I can hear my like cartilage popping. I was like, that's not normal. It's like it's like everything stretching. Doesn't normalize.
It might be healthy for you.
It is. So I usually try and do that, and it's good because if I don't go to the gym, I'm still doing something, but it's also not as repetitive as just going in like doing a treadmill and lifting weights. It's like, oh, we'll change it up a little bit. So I started with some yoga to just try and like prepare myself for the day, clear my head, and stretch it out, basically. And then I got to do one of my favorite things, which is assistant coach on my son's Little League team. And
that's gotta be fun.
It's so much fun. And they had the early game, which is awesome. I mean, it was 7:45 start, so we were there at 7:15 to warm up.
10 o'clock my time, that's not bad.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, we used to have t-ball games at 8 o'clock, and it was always a disaster because the kids are like still rolling out of bed. They're like, some of them are wearing like pajama bottoms with their jersey and cleats. Like, it's a hot mess. Nobody can listen or focus. Oh, everybody's hungry. It's wild. And then like by the last inning, by like 9 o'clock, they're like running on all cylinders, and all the adults are like, oh my gosh, I need a nap after this. That was exhausting. But the older kids are a little bit better. Like usually about 8:30 games are their pocket. Get there at 8. They had time to kind of wake up at normal school schedule type of deal. So this was a little early, but warming up at like 7:15, they're usually getting ready for school at that time. So it's kind of like, it's all right. He's in they're from like 7 to 10-year-olds in his division.
Okay.
So had a fun little game. That's always nice. Then I just jammed home, showered, and I was going down to hang out with the homie Jeff, who was filled in for you before, and had said he wants to come back on with or without you. And I'm like, ooh, is there a little spiciness there? Like, you avoiding Mike, or I don't know. But either way, so on the way down to see him, because he's in Long Beach. So on the way down to go see him, because we talk back and forth, he has a gambling, whatever, I don't know what it is, podcast or article website. He, submits his shit through. It's Outkick. So check that out. But anyway, so I was going to just watch football and golf and gamble on games and shit. Just good old-fashioned American fun. So on the way down there, I stopped at the best white boy tacos spot, Tito's Tacos. Did you ever have Tito's when you were out here? Probably not.
No.
You're not
Street tacos only, man.
Well, you can't say that, though, because you haven't had a Tito's taco. But you also don't do cheese, and Tito's tacos with cheese are the best.
Yeah, no cheese for your boy.
Because it's just straight up shredded meat, lettuce, and like sharp cheddar right on the top. Hard shell taco, but it's just they open at 11. I got there
not gonna work for me
at 11, and I was 19th in line. That's how good these tacos are. But they're also so good that all they do is crank out tacos. So I was like a 7-minute wait to get my order. It was not a big deal. It's pretty rad.
19th in 7 minutes, they really cranking out some tacos, bro.
Because that's that's 90% of what they do. So they have it down to a science. They even have a security guard that is the to-go order like manager. That's how efficient they are with their system.
A security guard that doubles as a to-go order manager.
That is correct.
They better be paying them double, too.
No, it was just some older Mexican lady. Jesse Cinco? I'm like, all right. That's 16, but 3 more to go. So I grabbed tacos, went down, hung out, watched some ball. Did okay, didn't do great. I just barely missed. My 2 golfers that I picked after round 2 were Cantlay and Naismith, and they both finished second. They tied for second.
Second place.
And then the Jaguars just sucked it up, which I had them kind of all over the place in my parlays and stuff. So
stink boys.
That didn't go as well, but it was always fun to hang. Just to hang and watch football is casual. I appreciate casual. So then I was like, all right. Then I had a set. It was actually my first paying gig as a comic. A charity gig in North Hollywood. So then I was like, all right, I got to go from Long Beach to North Hollywood. I got a couple hours. No big deal. I'll change in the parking lot, write my set. So I do that. Because I have some jokes that I've been working on and stuff, or like little bits. And then I'm like, okay, I just don't know which ones I want to do. How am I going to piece this together to get 10 minutes, basically? Because I'm one of those, everybody does comedy different, and I'm one of those dudes that I've just learned that I do best, same as in school. Like, I cram for a test. If I do it any other way, I overthink it, and then I try and remember shit out of place, and then it throws me, and I'm like, no, you know what? Just get in it, know what you're going to do about an hour before, and then practice it up until, get ready for it up until you go. So then that being said, I do that quick parking lot change, kind of take like 15 minutes to run through my set. I'm like, all right, hit the road. It takes me 2 hours to go from Long Beach to North Hollywood. And it was like, I was texting the dude, messaging him, the host. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry, but like, I'm going to be late. And I texted him I messaged him, I want to say at like 5:20. The gig's at 6:30, and I had already been on the road for an hour. And I was like, hey, just so you know, my arrival time says 6:10. Really sorry, but I'll get there as soon as I can. Because we're supposed to be there at 6 just to kind of, check in, go over everything, pre-show production, whatever. And then, which sounds like a lot. It's not. He's just like, hey, you're going up 6th. That's the extent of it, really. But he had asked us to be there at 6, and I always like to be punctual if possible. So anyway, then I'm driving, and it's 5:50, and I'm like, I am not 15 to 20 minutes away. So I was like, I wasn't able to think about my set because I was stressing out about letting this dude down and not doing what I said I was going to do. I hate doing that. So I was like, I messaged him again. I was like, listen, arrival time keeps climbing. I'll just get there when I get there, but it'll be as soon as possible, and just kind of like let it go. And then started driving, listening to music, kind of going over, just getting loose. So then I got there, and it was nice because I had a couple of buddies came out. My aunt came out, my cousin came out, you know, her husband came out. So it was a lot of had some familiar
Nice
faces
show.
in the crowd. That was nice. You know, especially it's like, you know, people have been kind of asking me like, "Hey, we want to go see you." And I'm like, "Not really. You may think you want to see me, but you don't really want to see me. Like, I'm still working this shit out, man. It's not been very long yet." So I was like, "But if you want to, yeah, more than welcome to. But, you know, don't expect much yet, basically." But it went good. Had a lot of fun. It's just, I just love doing it. And so being in a room full of people that were there ready to laugh is a bit different than, you know, at doing all these different open mics. So there's just an extra level of fun that was involved in that. So that was cool. And then it was like, all right, did that. Then it was time to change. Did another wardrobe change.
Where are you going now after you did a set?
I went to GWAR.
What is GWAR, man?
So GWAR
GWAR?
is basically their intergalactic heroes, and I don't know why more people don't know about them, but they've been fighting an intergalactic war for quite some time, and they're, you know, they rock. So they put on a hell of a show.
Okay.
But it's one of those
There you
things
go.
where I've wanted to see GWAR. I can't place it because I don't really remember, but I want to say it's roughly around 30 years, maybe like 27 to 30 years I've wanted to see GWAR. Like, I've just been like, GWAR's awesome. Let's do GWAR. Never thought I was ever going to come around to it. That was the ultimate prize in the Beavis and Butthead video game on Sega, was you would, the whole time you were getting pieces of tickets to a GWAR concert, and then you got to go in at the end. That was the big winning the game. So that had an extra layer of like, oh, GWAR is awesome. Even Beavis and Butthead like GWAR. So I go meet up with my buddy Gonzo, who's a huge metalhead, fantastic comic. And he's gone to GWAR. His birthday's right around mine, which is in a couple of weeks. And so, like, every year for his birthday, when GWAR's in town, he goes to the show. So
Okay.
it was like, oh, sweet. Get to go with somebody who's like a huge fan too. So we got to go together. He's just as crazy as I am. It's like we get in there, you know, he gets a beer, I get a water. We kind of both chug our drinks, and then it's like, okay, time to go in the pit. And then we just like went in the pit for a couple of minutes and then got up to the front of the stage and pretty much stayed there for the most of the time. But meanwhile, all the while, you know, kind of going in and out of the pit, which I was kind of nervous about, to be honest. I was like, man, I don't know if these old bones...
What is the pit? Like, what do you mean by the pit?
Like a mosh
What's
pit?
going on in the pit? Oh, there's a... So you were in the middle of a mosh pit.
At the GWAR concert. Yeah.
I don't know who GWAR is, but...
It's metal.
Okay. So you're in the mosh pit at a heavy metal concert. Are you okay? You said
I don't know if
you made it out
GWAR is
okay?
considered heavy metal, but I don't know what their classification is. But yeah. It
Okay,
was. I was in the pit at a rock show. That's usually probably more aggressive than your James Taylor concert orchestra pit.
Sounds pretty aggressive. So
It was a
are you
little
okay?
bit, but there's also a way to maneuver around the pit. And luckily, I'm a big dude, but I wasn't. You know, it was like I've just been in pits for many years, so there's a way to do it. And it's like if somebody falls down, you pick them up immediately. Like, you don't just trample them; you pick them up. There's certain pits, mind you, where you know what you're getting into. Like, stay out of a suicidal tendencies pit. Unless you're willing to be one of the people that gets trampled, because they will do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of the things that go with it. But normally, you're in a pit. If you're at a punk show, it usually goes in a circle. There's usually a couple of big dudes in the middle that just like pushing people or whatever. Let them be big. Nobody cares. And then everybody kind of goes around him and aggressively dances. Like, aggressively. Throwing elbows and whatever, and hopefully it doesn't hit anybody. But if you do, you're just kind of knocking into people. Not a big deal. It's fun to be in the chaos. But at like a metal
That doesn't
show...
sound fun to me.
It is. For me. I love it. But for a metal show, it's more of aggressively bouncing around. You know, there's no movement, you know, to it. It's just a circle of chaos. But still, if somebody hits the floor, you get up. But basically, it's like, as long as you're not like eyeballing somebody and going after them, because if you do that and somebody catches you do that, you're probably going to get knocked down in the back. Like, you know, elbow to the back, knock you down like, hey, man, don't go after people. That's not what we do here. So if you go after somebody, you know, it's self-regulated for the most part. But other than that, it's just kind of put your head down, and a lot of people go chaos. I keep my head up because I don't like getting hit from if I can't see it. So I'm one of the few that keep my head up, and I just, you know, anybody that's about to hit me, I just hit them first. That's how I pit a little bit while I'm moving around. It's fun.
Doesn't sound like my cup of tea. Hope you had fun, though.
I did. And then all the while, you're getting sprayed with, like, all these different liquids and colors, and they're doing all these different things on stage, and it's totally your cup of tea, Mike. It's pretty much exactly your type of deal. They rip their heads off and blood squirts all over. It was in my mouth.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely disgusting.
They got green cum that goes on everybody.
What? Green cum? That sounds disgusting.
It's not really.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to share that part, but you looked like you were ready for it. Yeah, so you're just covered in all this liquid, and meanwhile, it's just, oh, the thing I forgot about mosh pits, though, it's been a long time since I've been in
So you're covered in random liquids.
Yeah.
So when you went home, what can I ask you what Dallas said?
She basically, when she was going to bed, she was just like, hey, I love you. Hope you had a good day. Please make sure you shower when you get home. I think that goes without saying. So when I got home, I just walked in and, like, I made sure I washed my hands as best I could, but I had washed them at the place I went after the GWAR concert, like, a few times. And then, like, just kind of, like, tapped her on the foot, like, hey, I'm home. And then just went and showered.
Okay, so she never saw you looking like a complete...
No, but I took plenty of pictures. I put them up on Instagram.
I'm talking about, like, she didn't have to see it in person.
No, she didn't have to see it in person.
Looking like a liquid-covered mess.
But people at Liquid Zoo did see me like that. But the thing I forgot about pits was, as soon as I went to go in, I was like, oh, I just got punched in the face with BO. And it's the worst BO. It's because it's all the scummiest, nastiest people at a GWAR show. Heavy metal people that don't shower. And then they're just rubbing all over each other and sweating. I was like, oh, I forgot about that part. It took
Not
me
my cup of tea.
half a song to, like, rhythmically breathe, figure out how to breathe and not inhale a bunch of it. And I was like, okay, I got my breathing down. Now I can enjoy the rest of the show up here because I can kind of, like, filter that out now. But I forgot about it. It was like, oh, God, yeah, you motherfuckers are nasty.
Absolutely not. I'm not just bouncing around with a whole bunch of dudes that stink and get the putty in my face for free.
Everybody. It was a little bit of crowd surfing. It was a gay old time. So we did that. I'm covered in blood and cum. Get in the car. I just put stuff. I ripped open, like, plastic grocery bags and lined the seat because I wanted to be covered in GWAR. Because I was going back home after that. I was going to Liquid Zoo, which is where it's like my, you know, my home away from home. That's where I like to do my stand-up comedy the most. It's Ryan Talmo hosts it. He's the best damn host in the Valley. He's always been very cool to me, and that's one of the harder spots, but it's also kind of like the people who are serious about it will still go to that open mic because it sucks so bad sometimes, and it's like you leave there just like, what am I doing? Where am I in life? I don't, because I know what I'm doing and I know where I'm going on purpose, but it's like those people are dedicated, the ones that go to Liquid Zoo for open mic. So I love that place, and it's always on my way home from wherever I am anyway, and they're always running till 2 a.m. God bless Ryan Talmo. So that's just where I always end up on Sundays, because it's always running on Sunday nights. It's not in the best neighborhood, but I show up there in my GWAR, and everybody's just like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I'm here to do comedy, obviously. Like, obviously, question mark? I don't know. But it ended up being a great time. You know, people appreciated that I was still there doing my thing as usual and just having fun with it, goofing around. Because I already did my serious set for the night, like the one I really, really cared about. So I was able to be a little more free. I still very much care about every time I'm behind a mic. Like, I'm trying to get better no matter what. But I was trying to, you know, get better at having fun with just, look at me. Isn't this silly? You know what I mean? So that was a lot of fun.
This crazy.
So that was one hell of a Sunday, and it was for the books. And the reason why the 1s and 11s thing came up was because I didn't realize until I got home after this entire day. My shirt is 98% red with a couple of white spots on it. My jeans are soaked. And then I go down and I go to take off my Chucks, and I was like, I have like 3 different pairs of black Chucks. I just always have had a pair for the last 20 years. And so before I left, I put on a pair that I thought were just throwaway Chucks, like old ones. But I go to take them off, and I realize they're actually my wedding Chucks. The ones my wedding Chucks. So for my wedding, I wore black Converse All-Stars. And that was also our present to all my groomsmen, was they all got black Chucks, and they wore those. Those were the wedding shoes. So that was their present and the wedding shoes. And what we did was we had these little shamrocks with the date that we were married, 10/9/2011, on, you know, the patches put on the shoes. So, or 9/9/11, sorry, 9/9/11. So then fast forward to...
that is not going to go over well.
Oh, whatever. I know when I was fucking married. It was a while ago.
Hey, you can say all you want now, bro.
The point is, it tied back into, in my mind, it tied back into 10/9/22, because I was like, oh, this is another big day. Like, this is all the things that I'm working towards in the future. And it's 1 month and 11 years after, and I just happen to wear these shoes. So that 1/11 came back up in a weird roundabout way at the end, and it was like, oh, okay. Like, on that day, we were projecting what we were working towards for the future. And then on this day, a month and 11 years later, there was a similar feeling of like, this is what I'm going to do moving forward in my life. And I didn't realize it until the end of the day. That kind of shit, I enjoy indulging those little thoughts. That's just something I do. You seem like a very more practical man.
I mean, I get it. That's what's up. I like that you at least think about shit like that, you know.
You're a practical man. I think I'm a girly man. Do you think I'm a girly man?
Girly man?
Yeah.
You're probably Metro.
What? Okay. What does Metro even mean, by the way? I don't know why I just did that voice if I don't even understand.
I mean, Metro is, you know, a girly man. Like, you probably take care of your skin, look in the mirror 4 times a day. You know, like, it's okay, though. Like, it'll be like...
Well, that's funny, because those are the things I don't do. I thought being Metro was like acting flamboyant, but being straight.
No.
Well, then I guess we're both confused.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of threw me for a loop, because today I went to the gym. This morning I went to the gym, and a girl held the door for me. But it wasn't like, hey, I opened the door and saw you. It was like, hey, I opened the door. You're at that door walking purgatory spot where most people like speed up their pace for like 3 steps to like, thanks for catching the door. And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep my pace. You decided to stop. You know, I'm not gonna change my routine for you. But it was like, I took like 4 steps, and then she didn't allow me room to like catch the door. She like was holding the door for me, and I was like, oh man. I don't know how to feel about this. No, she just looked like a substitute teacher that had the day off. And I was just like, damn. What? Do I look like I can't open this door? Shit.
Oh, man. She looked like a substitute teacher who had the day off, you know?
I just, I don't know how to feel about that.
I would feel absolutely fine about it because women hold the door for me all the time.
Well, that's
don't worry, if they're gonna stand there and hold it, I'm gonna let them.
Well, that's just because they don't want you walking behind them.
But there's also women who will literally stand at the door and wait for you to open it. Like I've had that happen to me multiple times where a woman just stands there and looks at the door and waits for me to open it. I'm like, I don't even.
Are you with this woman?
No.
Oh, I would specifically open it the minimum for me to slide in and then just walk in. What are you crazy just standing out there? What are you, the queen?
I mean, ain't like she standing for a long time. But say it was a situation. I mean, well, this is always the situation. It's happened about 3 times. Where we're walking and say I'm about 4 strides behind her.
Yeah.
So she gets there before me, but she sees that I'm coming. I've had it happen at least 3 times. A woman just stands there and wait for me to open the door for her.
Why didn't she open the door for you?
Hey, I've had women open the door for me too.
Probably because you're not a girly man like me.
Different door.
I don't know. I think.
And so she was kind of hot about that.
That's her problem.
Yeah, but I just walked to a different door. I saw her standing there waiting for me to open it. So I walked to a different door.
Yeah.
I only did it once out of the 3 times. The other 2 times I just walked up and opened the door. It's not that big of a deal. But I'm like,
did you walk in first?
No, I didn't walk in first. I would never walk in first.
No, you got to walk in first and then do the back hold. Here, it's still open for you. Come on. I'm not courting you.
No, because I'll be touching doors with napkins and stuff. So I need a handle, bro. I still live by the COVID laws. I wear a mask. I do all that. No one else wears a mask. I go out. I'm literally the only person with a mask. And I'm like, yo, y'all are back to regular life.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things where we just kind of accept it like the flu. Just like the flu, it killed off the people it was supposed to kill off in the beginning. Sorry for your loss, anybody. But, that's what happens when bacteria infiltrates people. People die. And so then the wave of that happened, and then it's okay, if you're sick, don't go around people. Well, you do that with the flu anyway. They tell you to do that with a cold, so now it's just the same thing. So it's now we just have a way to test. You can't test for the flu. You could do your home things, get your temperature, I'm throwing up, I'm nauseous, I'm green or pink or yellow or whatever color you turn when you get sick. Those are all guessing what you got. And then you can maybe go to the doctor and he's like, yeah, you have influenza. Or now we just have something where we actually have a test for this thing that we know we're going to be sick for a few days. Okay. Why can't we just accept that it's actually a good thing? Huh? Why doesn't anybody look at the glass half full? Why doesn't anybody look at the 19 part of the COVID? You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
Hey, Brendan.
My brain doesn't work all the time.
It started. That's it. But, we did lose quite a few people to the COVID.
Well, you know what I lost at the gym, too? My phone. Look at this. Oh, let me turn it off. It got cracked because some dude, I was just doing these little pulleys for, your triceps, the rope pulley things. And then some dude was attached to the same machine, but on another side. And I don't know if he, dropped his weights too hard, like dickheads do. Ooh, everybody look at how much I did. Or if it was, he accidentally, kicked because he was doing something too hard. But a weight bar, fell off the apparatus and fell straight down on my phone and cracked my phone. And I kind of didn't really know what happened. I was just finished my thing because I was it already fell. What's the point of me stopping? Let me finish my set. And I was all right, what the hell happened? And I was just kind of I wasn't sure if he was the one that did it or not, but I definitely knew that it came from that corner. And I was okay, that was weird. So I pick up the bar, maneuver it out, and move it to the side. And then this dude gets up and walks the complete other side of the gym. I'm you couldn't just say sorry? I'm not gonna take it out on your
meathead, bro.
Shit. I'm not gonna try and charge you for my phone. It has insurance on it, but you can't just be oh, sorry, dude. Accident.
Well, you should have a screen protector on this.
I do, and it went through that. That's how hard this thing fell. That's what I'm saying.
Your screen protector's trash. I ran mine over with a car and my phone wasn't cracked. A car, my friend.
Well, listen, dude. That's also because it's even weight distribution. Can I tell you a little story?
No, because the screen protector was complete trash. Yeah. But the actual screen of the phone, perfect condition.
I'm still going to tell you a story. So, my dad's a glazer. I used to be a glazer. Glazer is somebody who installs glass. Now, when you go into your favorite retail store, they usually have the metal door with a glass insert. Okay? So, there's aluminum that's usually about 4 to 10 inches on the top and then 10 inches on the bottom. And the sides are just connected however wide those are. So there was one door that wouldn't shut properly because it was tweaked. So somebody got the brilliant idea to take the glass out, take the handles off, run it over with the truck evenly. And guess what? It worked. They straightened out the door by running it over. They put the same amount of pressure, ran it straight over, and they straightened out the door. Cleaned it up, put the glass in. Bob's your uncle. Actually, he's my wife's uncle.
There you go. Good job for them and using their smarts because they're intelligent. They learned that in school.
Yeah, but then also the same set of goons once couldn't get up to measure glass on like a high-rise building, so they measured the reflection on the ground and ordered a piece of glass off of that. So, sometimes being an idiot works, sometimes it doesn't.
There you go. That is completely the opposite side of the spectrum, bro.
Oh, shit.
And the car that ran over my phone?
Yeah.
My own car.
Oh, I kind of assumed that.
How fucking dumb was I? You want to know how I knew that it was not in the car? Because the Bluetooth started to go off. So I realized, oh, shit, my phone's no longer in here. Where the hell are you?
Did you reverse over it?
No. I drove over. I was driving away.
Yeah, no. I was just curious as to.
It was just going to be left on the ground if I didn't have it connected to Bluetooth, my friend.
Oh, how funny. That's how I always know that I left my phone by a piece of gym equipment, is my Bluetooth starts cutting out. And I was like, oh, yep, okay. Good thing.
Where's my shit?
Oh, speaking of people losing their shit, what's up with Draymond Green? How do you feel about this giant pile of garbage these days?
I feel like he's a punk for that. I feel like it was a sucker punch. That's just me. And not a sucker punch in the sense of he punched him off guard. The sense of he wasn't expecting you to punch him.
Yeah.
Like you all are teammates. He's not expecting you to punch him. One reason why he pushed you because you ran into his space.
Yeah, like, so for those who don't know, Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole, one of his teammates at practice. And basically, I watched the clip of it. Basically, it's like Draymond's on a corner of the court and Jordan Poole's on the other, and they're kind of like off the court on the sidelines, if you will. And then, they're just bracking off to each other. And then Draymond doesn't like something Jordan says, walks up to him, and Jordan gets into his face for a good second. And, aggressively, nose to nose. And Jordan Poole's like, get the fuck out of my, don't you get, you're not allowed in my space. Pushes him off like that. Like one of those, I'm not trying to shove you down, but I'm trying to shove you back. Get you back 3 feet. And then Draymond just does this, it's one of those things where it's the Ron Artest switch. It takes a half a second for him to go, huh? Did you just do that? And then whack. You know what I mean? It's a reaction thing. And it's like, okay, at what point do you just accept the role of the villain? Stop saying you're the fucking sweetest guy, misunderstood. No, you're not. No, you're not. You know when everybody started loving Ron Artest? When he's like, yeah, I used to be a piece of shit. What do you expect? And everybody's like, yeah, we love Ron. He knows who he is. But then Draymond
always knew who he was.
I'll tell you what, man. Draymond Green is going to be the downfall of Steph Curry's legacy because he's going to keep his little buddy by his side, and he's always going to be on the teams with that guy. And
Draymond's done. After this season, he's done. They're not re-signing Draymond.
But he's already been an issue for so many years that he's cost Steph a title. I know he's won them a couple. He's also lost them at least one.
At least one.
So,
I agree.
That being said, had Draymond never been there and they just had somebody else in that position, you know, who knows? Maybe Steph has 5.
Maybe, or maybe he doesn't have any.
Or maybe he doesn't have any. That's the other argument.
Draymond is a very integral part in the offense that they decided to run. Now, are there other people that can do what Draymond did? Yeah.
Sure.
But it ain't a lot.
Right. It's a handful.
A very selfless, defensive-minded guy who was willing to accept that role and be able to play.
But that's the thing is, like, if you want to be Rodman, accept the role. Be the bad guy. Don't say that you're misunderstood. I'm so sick of that bullshit. You can't punch people in the face and just be like, hey, man, nobody gets me. Yeah, we get you. You're a punk. Just embrace it. Be the bad guy.
Yeah, sometimes every story needs a bad guy. Why not?
You know what I'm saying? Everybody already doesn't like him. Turn it into a good thing.
I know I don't now because I don't like the way he punched on dude. Even though dude shouldn't have pushed him, I get it. But like he punched on somebody who wasn't ready to fight. Like at our age, sneaking people, I'm not okay with. Like make sure somebody's ready
and a
to fight.
Teammate.
At that, like that's what I'm saying. That's why. That's exactly why he.
This isn't the Malice in the Palace where they're fighting, you know, the other team and everybody. No. This is you're at practice and you punched somebody that's, you know, you can't pass to because you don't do that. But you know what I mean? Like they got your back on the court. What the fuck?
Well, that's the one thing he actually does decently. He passes. He just can't shoot.
But here's the thing: is he, you know, the thing about him getting in somebody's face is he has the ego that he thinks he can do that.
We would never be able to play on the same team again, and we would literally have to fight every day.
No, that would go on twice, and then somebody just wouldn't. Where's Draymond today? I don't know. I don't think he's showing up anymore, though.
Yeah, somebody will come up missing. Probably so. I ain't gonna lie to you, because, yeah, man, like, you ain't, no, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? That's
I'm not for that.
I don't
but
think so.
I wish them the best with that. I don't know how their season's going to work out, but that's bullshit.
All right, so let's run through. Okay, we just got a bunch of pick'ems. We'll run through, and we're gonna vary from whatever association to association. So we'll start with Major League Baseball playoffs. Okay, by the time this is all coming out, it'll be Thursday the 13th. There'll be some games that are 2 games in. Most of them are just 1 game in. The Phillies and the Braves. Who do you think the Braves come back in this series? And
I do, but if they get to play today, well, we're recording this on Tuesday. I'm sorry I just gave that away, but yeah, it's rained out, bro. So
it's Wednesday, by the way.
Right now. Oh, they're delayed.
And by the way, this is going to come out after, so you're not like spoiling anything for anybody.
Got you, yeah, but yeah, the game's delayed right now. But yeah, I think the Braves gonna come back. I actually think the Braves gonna go back to back. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
I've been
think
on the Dodgers, but it's scaring me now. Like the playoffs are here, and they don't have the dogs, the pitchers. They don't have the pitch.
And
they don't have no.
I mean, they dinged up Clevinger or whatever his name is from San Diego in Game 1, but.
Oh, they're gonna beat. They own San Diego.
I think the Braves in 2 years, either next year or the year after, are gonna win like 3 out of 4. Like they're gonna go on a run like they did in the 90s, because they've just slowly but surely, very quietly, been signing all of their young stars to like 5-year, 7-year, 10-year deals, and so they're gonna have like 6 of their skill position players for the next 5 years at least, and then like 3 of their pitchers for at least 4. Like they're just slowly but surely building a dynasty, and nobody's paying enough attention because you got people jacking home runs and you got the Dodgers winning 111 games. The Braves are going to be sneaky over the next few years.
No, I think I actually think sneakily because of the Mets losing. I honestly thought the Mets would win it. Honestly.
Yeah, I thought they had a good shot.
I told you. What did I tell you? I told you.
Scherzer always gives up the one.
He always has the one. And in a 3-game series, it's tough because he always has that one. If you can hit, and the thing about when they won with the Nationals, he had his one, and the Nationals hit him through it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can hit him through it, then it's different. But he always has the one. And I knew once I saw him lose, I was like, DeGrom's gonna win. But who the hell are y'all throwing in game?
Well, that
3?
was the thing, is after Scherzer got popped, it was like, okay, if he gets the mound again, then it's game over. But
he's never
if he
gonna
doesn't,
get the mound again in a 3-game series, he doesn't get that chance. See, in a 7-game series, you know he's coming back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, but
and
if the Mets, because if the Mets win that 3rd game, you don't want to see Scherzer again for the playoffs.
And that person
but
he faces
he didn't
in
get
game
that
1,
chance.
Yeah, he's mowing down like the Braves in that game 1 would have been a problem. He would have been mowing dudes left and right.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh God, at least that's over. And then DeGrom comes next, and you're like, what the fuck? That's why they only have to put up 2 or 3 runs a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if they don't hold it down, that's when they
the
get
thing
popped.
with the Braves. The Braves got 2 top-of-the-line starters, so the Braves are going to be tough.
Yeah, so Braves and Dodgers, I think,
to a championship.
I think we
the
can settle.
Phillies lineup, I don't know if we've been paying attention, but the Phillies lineup is pretty loaded.
It's pretty good.
Like, the Phillies are a hit. Like, that's how they got here.
And Bryce Harper was out for a good portion of the year, so the Phillies kind of went under the radar.
Like, young guys that are raking, I didn't even know
Castellanos.
about.
Yeah. No, they're decent, but I think it's going to be Braves and Dodgers. I do think now the Dodgers will overcome and go to the World Series. How do you feel about the Astros Mariners? Game 1 ended in a wild fashion.
Man, we all knew what this was coming to. This is coming to Astros Yankees. We all knew.
And then who do you pick?
Headed.
Who do you have?
Astros owned them in the regular season, so I'm gonna stick with that. But if Garrett Cole can pitch like he did yesterday, they got a chance. They got a chance.
So who do you think's in the World Series now that it's a little further flushed out?
World Series, I'm gonna go Brave Astros.
Ooh.
I just don't think Dodgers have the pitchers. As much as I've been on them all season, I won't be surprised if they win it because I think they're fucking loaded.
Yeah.
But they don't have horses, man.
Yeah. I think
like when the playoffs come, you gotta have some horses, man. And with Kershaw not being a horse anymore and having to face DHs now, you need horses. Like Brewer not being there is like I thought he would be there this time of year. I thought he was coming back and gonna be healthy. No Bueller. It's going to be tough.
No Bueller, no Bauer. That's what they were expecting, and they don't have them.
Imagine next year, though. They'll have both of them.
You're going to have to watch out. But, yeah, I will say that you're kicking the mic a lot, I think.
I'm not touching the mic.
Well, your feet. Something.
Oh, shucky ducky quack quack.
Yeah. So, all right. So, who do you think wins the World Series?
I just told you. I think the Braves are gonna take it.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure because you're kind of like
they're going back to back.
All right, back to back.
All year I've been on the Dodgers, so I'm not gonna sound like I'm not gonna sit.
Listen,
I've
been on
the Braves all year.
I'd be happy if the Dodgers never even made it to the World Series because I do not want to hear all this bullshit. If it's Dodgers Astros again, I don't want to hear it. I can't hear it anymore. It's going to make me hate the Dodgers even more than ever. If all these people are bitching about, how do we know they are cheating now? And all of that garbage. I can't. Take fastballs to the head. No. Stop it. I can't have that anymore. That being said, I hope the Astros win the whole fucking
like
thing.
Ohtani.
Astros all the way.
You got the Stros?
Yes.
I wouldn't be mad at the Stros one because the guy, Mattress Mac, will win some money. He makes big bets on the Stros every year. So shout out to Mattress Mac. Yeah, I'm always rooting for a gambler.
All right. Let's transition to college football. Let's run through the ranked versus ranked games. Just give me your pick and I'll give you mine. First, we have number 10 Penn State versus number 5 Michigan. Michigan is giving up 7.
I'm taking a 7.
Okay, so you think Michigan blows them out?
I think they beat them by at least 17.
Okay.
I don't think Penn State's that good.
Yeah, I think Michigan covers, but not by much. Number 3 Bama versus number 6 Tennessee. Tennessee is getting 7.5.
Upset of the week. I put your money on the Vols. Take the points, though. They might win outright. Take the points.
Okay. See, I was gonna say take the points. I like that half point. That half point means a lot to me. So I like Tennessee plus 7.5 as well. I think Bama still wins. Number 4, Oklahoma State versus number 13, TCU. TCU is favored by 4 points.
Give me TCU. I don't know about the points though. Yeah. Give me the points. I'll take the 4. I'll take the 4. I'll take the -4.
See,
TCU.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but a close one. So I think that Okie State loses a close one, and 4 points will cover it. So we're opposites on those. 15 NC State versus 16 Syracuse. Syracuse is -3.5.
I'm gonna take NC State with the points, but I think they're gonna flat out win.
Okay. Yeah, I pick NC State to win. Number 16. No, that's wrong. Whatever, Mississippi State's ranked 13 versus Kentucky 22. Kentucky is getting 4 points.
I don't like the 4 point. Mississippi State is pretty good, but I don't think Kentucky is that good. I don't respect Kentucky.
Me neither. I respect Duke. I don't respect Kentucky. Does that make sense?
And Will Levis is out, which is even more of a problem. Well,
yeah, I like Mississippi State.
Yeah,
to cover that. I think they win by 7-10, something like that, or if not more. And then here's one that I'm really interested in: number 7 USC versus number 20 Utah. Utah is -3.5.
I'll take USC.
Me too. But why is Utah at home so scary to all these everybody?
Well, I mean, home team usually gets 3 points, so the point. So
yeah,
really,
but Utah has 2 losses and USC's undefeated.
Yeah, but they still have Willingham as the coach. Their defense is always pretty good, and USC hasn't looked dominant.
No, they haven't. They did it's like the first 2 weeks it was like, oh shit, here we go, and then it was like stall. Like everybody caught up to them real quick.
These last 2 outings they haven't looked as dominant, but that's the Kingsbury. What's the boy's name? Who's their coach? That's their motto. They always start off hot. Lincoln Riley, they start off hot, man. It usually cools off. So,
all right,
but they'll have a chance. USC has the talent, so we'll see. I don't know how good that defense really is. We're gonna find out versus Utah.
All right, so let's transition to the NFL quickly. Tua and Dak are throwing, but they're not playing. So, what's the deal here?
Well, there's no guarantee that Dak isn't playing. I can't speak for Tua.
Well, I just read that Cooper Rush is to start this week.
You read Cooper Rush is likely to start. I read the story too.
Okay, well that's what I'm asking. That's what I proposed, Mike. Is they're throwing but not playing? What does that mean? Feel free
that if he can zip the ball as he needs to be able to zip the ball on Friday, you'll hear there'll be a new story out.
Okay, but how do you feel
just
as
he can grip it doesn't mean he can zip it.
But
it's two different things.
I get that, but how do you feel as a Cowboys fan? Do you want him when he just barely feels like he can do it to get in there, or do you want to stick with Cooper Rush?
No,
until he feels better.
With Cooper Rush until Dak is 100% healthy. But at first, I was play Cooper Rush at all costs. After seeing him Sunday, and what was the first of a big game, which we'll have many of because of how it led up to it. It ended up turning out to be not much of a big game because we took off early on him. But, this is his opportunity. He's earned the right to play this game. I'll give him that. He earned the right for people to see what he looks like on this stage, in this type of game, in this type of environment. You've earned that right. But come next week versus the Detroit Lions, if that's
Dak's warm-up game. That's his comeback game. Getting the
buddy, old pal, you're gonna find yourself a bitch unless you do something spectacular against these Eagles, because we can't win with 100-yard passing. Like we have Super Bowl expectations.
Yeah, he was like 9 for 15 with 59 yards at some point. I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah,
all right, so let's move into Week 6 picks. I just picked a few games that I found interesting. I'm going to start with Jets versus Packers, -7.5.
Give me the Jets.
That's my upset of the week. And whoever's upset about it, I don't care. Whoever's in your house upstairs. But I like the Jets as an upset this week. I think they have a chance to outright win. So I'm definitely taking the points. I agree with you there. I'm taking the Jets money line as well. That'll be a nice little payday. Bengals versus Saints. Saints are getting 1.5 points.
And whoever's giving them those 1.5 know what's going on because they about to get smoked.
You think the Bengals, this is their, okay, we're done with this bullshit party?
If T. Higgins is back, yes. If T. Higgins isn't back, then Saints got a chance. 1.5 is about right. But if T. Higgins is back, this week is smoke time for those boys.
I like it. I like the Bengals covering the 1.5, but
because Dalton is definitely coming back to earth, and ain't nobody letting Taysom Hill do that again. 4 touchdowns. What?
That's why it's a gimmick. It works like 4 times a year. You know what I mean?
Yes. Somebody won a fantasy game. That is bullshit. You know that?
Hey,
like that won some other fantasy league game this week. Putting Taysom Hill in that wide tight end, and he goes crazy like that.
All right, so moving to Ravens versus Giants. Surprising Giants are getting 6 points versus the Ravens at home. Who do you like in this one?
Who's what? Oh yeah, they deserve to get the 6 points. I thought they were underdogs. Okay, yeah, no. Favorite. No, they deserve 6 points. Lamar's coming to see those people. He gonna go ahead and take care of that business.
You think they're gonna wax him?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I think it's going to be closer, uncomfortably close for Ravens fans.
No, I think they're going to get whacked. I think everybody's giving them credit for this Green Bay win when Green Bay is really just not that good.
No, I'm not giving them credit for the Green Bay win. I'm giving them credit for being like a grinded out, win at all costs. Like we give the ball to Saquon. Other than that, we just need to fucking fuck their thing up. And it's worked enough so far to where they just may be able to disrupt the Ravens to where they make it a close, grindy 17-20 game. I don't know. I just see that could happen.
Yeah.
One of the things the Giants are great at is sitting on the ball on offense so that they don't give it to the other offense. Like they know their weaknesses.
Yeah, but the Ravens' weakness is the passing game, and their quarterback is Daniel Jones.
That's true.
Therein lies the problem.
That is true. All right.
So,
well, I'm still taking the Giants +6, but I hope Lamar Jackson has 78,000 fantasy points.
I hope you don't put it on a parlay.
I won't. Okay, so moving on to what most people think is going to be the most exciting game of the week. The Bills versus Chiefs. The Bills are favored by 3 points. How do you feel about that?
Give me the Bills, and I'm going to take them covering the 3.
I agree.
They always win the regular season game. If this was a playoff game, I'd take the Chiefs.
Got you. I like that. And then we have Cowboys-Eagles. Eagles are favored by 6. That's obviously fair.
It's obviously fair. Yeah, because Cooper Rush, they think Cooper Rush is start. If Dak was the starting quarterback, there's no way the line would be 6.
Okay.
That's first.
So what do you think it would be if Dak
I don't give a shit what the line is. We're going to spank their ass on Sunday night. Spank their ass. You hear me? My defense is no joke. Ass whooping coming. Sorry to get so hyped up.
No, right? Good. I like it. You're supposed to be enthusiastic. We need to know what you like. All right. I mean, I don't ever like the Eagles -6, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm taking the points. I'm not taking the Cowboys, but I'm taking the points. You know what I'm saying? Saying without saying?
You should take the Cowboys. You should go ahead and double up. Money line them too.
No, because I always do that. I always fucking do that. And then it's like I have a good day. And then come Sunday Night Football, I'm like, I can't miss. Bang. And then give it all back.
Listen, bro. Money line.
I parlay my parlays, man.
Get yourself paid, bro.
We'll see. All right, so quick fantasy football update. Did you win this week?
Did I win this week? Don't
Don't
ask
act
those
like
type
it's a
of
given,
rhetorical
you
questions.
piece of shit.
Don't ask those type of rhetorical questions. Sir, did you win this week?
No, not. I lost in our league. I got my first loss. It's 100% my fault. I messed with my lineup too much, and I swapped out 2 of my receivers. I picked up one guy and put him in, and another guy who starts every week, I took them both out, and I put in. I took out St. Brown because he wasn't supposed to be in all week, and then so I picked up Josh Reynolds, his another receiver on the Lions, had him in my lineup, and then it was like all of a sudden it was like, oh, St. Brown's coming back, and I'm like, did he do like a Paul Pierce thing? And here was the thing: this week I blame it on myself because ultimately it's my decision. I read into the little recaps a little bit too much of like the forecast, which I normally don't do. I just look for the injury status. And I just had extra time to kill this week in my car doing something, so I started reading the Fearless Forecast or whatever, and it got in my head like, he is a must start if he's playing. And I'm like, yeah, he has been good. So I undid that. And then I thought Jacksonville was going to just crush, so I put in Christian Kirk over Cortland Sutton, and that didn't happen. So had I played my normal lineup that I was going to play, I'd have won. But that's the part of fantasy football, is accepting losses that you did. I did this. Not my players. I did. They performed well enough to win, and I mismanaged. But like Tim Tebow said, no one will work harder. We will go undefeated. No, I'm just saying. But I won my other 2. So on the year, I'm 13-2 in fantasy. So I'm doing okay. I'm still in first place.
Bye game.
I'm still gonna win everything.
Probably game, and you're projected to lose this week. You're probably gonna lose.
I'm not projected to lose.
You probably are.
I'm not. I'm projected to win by 20 points or something like that. Which I'm not.
True?
I just got to do I have my players. I don't care about projections. That was what got me in this trouble in the first place, is this forecasting. Fuck your forecasting. I outperform your projections every week except for last week. Thank you very much. So I'm going to stick to what I know how to do, my combos, and I'm going to dominate, okay? I'm sick of this pussyfooting around.
You're not going to dominate shit. You ain't going to dominate shit.
Already been dominating. Remember, you're not allowed to talk to me about this until you beat me? Just remember that.
I don't care.
Hey, that being said...
I just take the lead without beating you?
Did you get excited now that Blacklist is back on Netflix?
Yes, I did, but I couldn't get excited this week because I'm dealing with another death, bro. And it's a weird one that I'm probably not going to talk about much on here, but...
You usually don't.
Yeah, man, it was different. So, but yeah.
All right, well, we'll address that off the air. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, man.
So that being said, you gonna watch Blacklist?
You absolutely. What type of question is that? Is the sky blue?
What season is it on anyway? Is it the current season that just finished goes on Netflix, or is it like last year's?
Yes. No, it's the current season that just finished goes on Netflix.
But don't you watch that live? Don't you record those?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you stopped recording them because now they go on Netflix.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. And I like Netflix with no commercials and not having to fast forward. Like, they cut the commercials for you.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I get that. You could just blow through 4 of them when you're laying in bed and then go to sleep, and then, hey, you're a quarter of the way through the season. I get that. Are you going to watch any Halloween movies?
No.
Do you have a Halloween movie favorite at all, or any kind of anything like that?
Not really a Halloween fan.
Tales from the Hood?
Candy.
Nothing?
Yeah. I never wanted to really dress up or be like somebody else. I don't know. It's kind of...
Leprechaun in the Hood? You never saw that classic?
That trash movie.
It's so bad, it's so good.
Yeah, no, that's pretty trash.
Hey, all the Leprechaun movies are trash. That's why they're amazing. It's a so bad it's good situation. All right, fine.
So bad it's good.
Yeah.
That's what you think? Yeah. That's your favorite Halloween movie?
No, not even close. it's one of those silly ones that you're just like, look at this piece of shit. You can't stop laughing while you're watching a scary movie. That's fun. I hadn't been watching. I did start watching a couple of things. I don't know why, but it just kind of was like, the other night I just wanted to watch something kind of casual, so something I've seen before usually fits well in that category. And so Rush is on Netflix, the Niki Lauda Formula One racing film with Thor. He's not Niki Lauda, he's the other guy. But it's a really good movie. It's a long one. It's like 2 hours and 12 minutes or something like that. But it's a good watch. So I watched like the first hour of that, and I'll crush the last hour of that at some point this week when I'm just trying to like fade off to bed. But it's an exciting movie at the same time. So I highly recommend Rush if you haven't seen it. It's probably like 10 years old. And then I'm like 80% of the way through this. I started watching The Redeem Team. Little documentary thing on Netflix.
Yeah, I finished that already.
How'd you feel about that? That's, when we say like, hey, you watching stuff, you could be like, hey, I saw that Redeem Team thing though. That's always an option. But how'd you feel about it?
It wasn't that good to me.
Yeah, it was basically okay. Like, this was Kobe's team, right? Right. Okay. Like, that was all it was going to be in the first place, which is, as a Kobe fan, I'm like, yeah, I'll watch this thing. It was kind of weird how they bounced around, though, man. It was like they looked like they were going to lead into something and would spend like 5 minutes on it and then just completely drop it. And you're like, is that going to be relevant later? And they're like, nope. Just, that's what we wanted to show you. And you're like, okay. There was a lot of that in there. Like half of it was just like for no reason. It could have been 45 minutes and solid. You know what I mean?
It could have been a lot better. It could have been done a lot better.
Yeah. But I will say the best part of it is Melo. Carmelo Anthony's interview. Like, he's the best. I just got through the part where Dwayne Wade was coming back from injury and trying out for the Olympic team. And he's like, and then this dude shows up at number 9 and bald head. And we're like, oh, shit. Where the fuck you come from? It's just like, he's the best. Everybody's waking up to go work out with Kobe. And he's like, I don't wake up at 4:30 for nobody. It's like, he is the best. Because he's just like, yeah, this is what it was. This is what it is. Isn't that why we're here? You want to know about this? Like, he's just the absolute fucking best. Which I hated him on the court because he never played fucking defense. But he never played defense and would always beat the Lakers. And that's a bad combo for me. You know what I mean? It was like I never liked Ron Artest, but I respected the piss out of him because he always played hard D.
You like hard D, huh?
Oh, you know me, hard D. I am a girly man, we've decided. But basically, the Redeem Team story is just like Kobe's a hustler. He got us all in the mentality of being a hustler, blah, blah, blah. So, to round out this week's episode, I wanted to know who your top 5 hustlers were.
Hustlers like get money hustlers?
Like, in any sense of the word.
Or like basketball hustlers.
In any sense of the word, who do you think who are your top 5
hustlers all time? I'm keeping it in the streets. Forget them basketball hustlers.
All right.
Top 5 hustlers of all time. Griselda Blanco. She got that money, man. So I'm talking about, shout out to you, Griselda. You know what I'm saying? Pablo Escobar.
Okay.
Hustler. Getting money. Man, that's what I'm saying. Then we got my man P. Diddy.
Ugh.
From the streets to exec, hustling everybody, ripping folks off. That's what hustling is in a sense, man. You gotta be able to hustle somebody, get over on them in a sense. Sorry to say, but that's kind of what the game is, man.
That's true. That's true.
So you gotta have a hustle.
He's still
man.
Such a bitch, though. He is such a bitch.
Why you gonna call my man a B word, bro? He ain't never did nothing. He ain't never did
the
nothing. The
P is for pussy, by the way. He's such a bitch. Name me one good Puff Daddy rap.
None, because he doesn't write raps. He writes checks. You ain't hear that?
Exactly.
You ain't hear that line? I don't write rhymes. I write checks.
Well, then why does he keep trying to rhyme all the time for the last 30 goddamn years?
Because he got enough money to do so, bro. When you're rich,
exactly.
You do the hell you want. Number 2 hustler,
Still
Cardi
bitch.
B, bro.
Okay.
Cardi B went from a second fiddle girl on some VH1 like basketball wives show to like the number 1 selling artist in her genre in the world. Shout out to you, Cardi B. Like, for real, we know your real name because you was on TV under your real name, and now we only know you as Cardi B. Shout out to you. That's the definition of a hustler. My number 1 hustler of all time. I am from the Alexandria, Virginia, Washington, D.C. area. So shout out to Rayful Edmonds. Even though you probably a rap by this point, it's for what they say about you in the streets. Your hustle game is well noted in this area, and you are absolutely respected. So that is my top 5 hustlers of all time.
Well, mine is much different than yours, obviously. Because, yeah, I agree with some of those. And I agree with the sentiment, too, for sure. So my top 5, in no particular order, just people I have affection for. Kobe. Kobe's a hustler. Jay-Z. I appreciate the fact that he taught people how to be a hustler by giving them the blueprint. So I appreciate that, sir. That's a good hustler.
Hustler.
Paul Newman. The ultimate hustler. Paul Newman is the man. One of my favorite actors of all time. The Rock. Not one of my favorite people, but you cannot deny that man is always fucking doing something. He just is. Whether it be steroids or TV shows, The Rock is constantly doing something. He's always hustling. Good for you, buddy.
Oh, my bad. My earphones went out, so I ain't hear none of that.
That's okay.
But I was being
But thank you for making me have to clip this part out, probably, instead of just letting me keep rolling. Larry Flint. We'll work on your production skills later. Now I'm going to leave it in to call you out.
But now I'm mad that I didn't hear who your top 5 hustlers were.
Kobe, Jay-Z, Paul Newman, The Rock, and Larry Flint.
I lip read The Rock. Shout out to Larry Flint, though.
Larry Flint. He is hustler, or was. Shout out to him. And honorable mentions, Guy Fieri, the Cardi B of the trashy white community. He just wanted to be on TV and knew how to cook, and that dude has empire upon empire upon empire.
Shout out to Guy Fieri, man.
And another honorable mention, the Hustler jacket, as in Larry Flint's Hustler, that I bought on a youth church trip when I was supposedly one of the leaders. I was like, yeah, but that's a good jacket. I don't care if we're with the kids. I'm going to go buy that jacket. And then I wore it for the rest of the youth church vacation.
Oh, my goodness. You're a wild boy for that, my guy.
Speaking of wild boys, we are going to give you a fun playlist this week. It's going to be... How do you even say this, by the way?
Ex Extension.
Ex Extension. Thank you, because I was like, you could pronounce this like 17 different ways, so I'm not going to guess. So it's going to be Ex Extension. Let's try that again. Ex Extension and Cheap Trick. And then we're going to make sure that Maggie gets whatever she's getting upstairs. Thank you for hanging on for this long. And thank you for listening to Maggie go crazy, because she loves the Black Irish podcast, much as you do if you hung on this long. Do us a favor. Give us a click of some kind on whatever platform you're hearing this or watching this on. You're watching on YouTube. But yeah, give us a click of some kind. It's appreciated. Until next time, follow us on Instagram. I'm at Brendala7. Mike is at Black Irish 213. We are at Black Irish Pod, and I'm going to get that noise out of here. So I love you guys. Love you, Mike. Talk to you later. Peace.
Peace, yeah.